Hey guys, it's Laura Dowells here, and welcome to day 25 of Ethne's 31 Days of Tarot. Here's a Fred. But today's prompt is a tarot deck creator or personality you'd like to meet and why. There's really no contest here. I would love to meet Lori Walls, mainly because I can't find her. She doesn't really have a social media following. I'm wondering if this is like a pen name kind of situation where like that's not her real name and like I just can't find her. Can't find anyone by the name of Lori Walls that would be her. She published this in 1999, and I haven't seen any artwork that looks like her artwork anywhere. Maybe I haven't been looking properly, but yeah, I mean, it's very, gosh, like, I want to see a reprint of this deck so bad, because this deck is quite a bit smaller than, like, your usual tarot deck. Like, my hands are small, so maybe it might not look that small, but it's kind of more, it's like a taller playing card. It's a slightly taller playing card, and that's it. And honestly, like, I really want prints. I want prints of this Fool here. I think that this is probably one of, like, my absolute favorite Fool cards. I mean, she's got this butterfly mask, and he's got this dog mask, and he's running after her, trying to stop her, kind of like the dog pulling the Fool away from the cliff. Kind of, like, attitude about the Fool. And she's not carrying a white rose of purity. She's got this red, passionate rose, and there's something also about the sun behind them. I don't know, like, it's just such a beautiful card. I want a print of it so bad. I also want a print of this one because it's just so strange. That's a strange picture, right? I love it. I absolutely love it. And because this is an erotic deck and the tarot's not all fluff and stuff, there are some problematic cards in here. There is a card that depicts rape, and it's not a woman that's the victim. I mean, if the Monara can get picked up by Los Scarabeo, why can't Los Scarabeo pick up an actually good erotic deck for one? It just makes me so mad to see, like, an erotic deck that's just gratuitous sensuality and titties and no schlong. No schlong in those decks. It's like those really crappy romance movies. Like, you'll see the guy shirtless, but you'll see the girl topless 15,000 times. No schlong to be seen anywhere. And, like, I like that men and women both are depicted. Genitals out, and, like, it's not just one-sided with everything. And there's also something really nice about people being in their own bodies, and these bodies not necessarily being perfect forms. I mean, our Ace of Cups has a very fertile, thick little body with rolls and stuff. I like that, and I like that, there are some weird looking schlongs in here, and I'm not even gonna talk about that too much, But, like, there are cards in here that people say are, like, so problematic. Nothing more problematic than what's in the Monara. I mean, let's be honest. I saw this Tower card, and I was like, I have to get this deck now. I just have to get this deck now. I do like the bubble butts. Oh, the Queen of Rods is, like, my favorite in this deck, because she's all furry, And, I mean, you have people of color represented. 1999, this was before YouTube personalities were, demanding no more all-white decks, blah, 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 blah. You have the Three of Cups here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was one of those diverse decks before diversity was even a selling point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really cool. And, like, I like all of the knight cards, especially this one, because you can tell who the knight is by who is holding the symbol of the suit and who is riding who. But the rods in particular, they're both holding on to it, and you can't tell who's riding who. They're both the knight, and they're both the horse. And that's kind of cool, I think. And the death card, I'm sure, creeps a lot of people out, because it's this weird zombie woman thing, giving birth to a grown live man. You can tell she's giving birth to him. He's one. She's coming out. He's coming out of her, and there's the umbilical cord and everything. Death and rebirth. Death and rebirth. But you know, oh, that's not comfortable. That's super, oh, that makes me uneasy. Like, oh, artwork isn't supposed to challenge me. This is one of the cards that is kind of like, you know, violent, but even so, it's very phantasmal. It's the fear of it. And with it being the Nine of Swords, which is all about fears and trapping yourself in your own fears, I really like this card. It's very phantasm and not real. You know, like she's very much looking like a phantom there in that group, you know? And like, oh my gosh, not just an interracial couple, an interracial homosexual couple. Like, I love it. I love it so much. Like, how can anyone take a look at this deck and say, like, you know, there's no reason to reprint it, that it's to this or to that? Fuck you. Like, this deck is everything I fucking want it to be. It's diverse, it's sexual, it's sensual. 2 women. Yeah, yeah. And like it's just very beautiful. And you know, she didn't just make the minor cards people of color. There are court cards who are people of color as well. Is that not one of the most beautiful Queen of Pentacles you have ever seen? So, anyway. I like it for so many different reasons. And I guess the reason why I'm so kind of like abrasive and aggressive about how amazing this deck is and like you should think it's amazing too is because I was so excited by this deck and I couldn't wait to see what thoughtful, interesting things people had to say about it. So I Google it and I start looking at forums and stuff about this deck. And the only things I could find about this deck were people who fucking hated it and were hating on it. And like, oh yeah, it does something very strange with the suit correspondences and na. Yeah. Pentacles are air, swords are fire, rods are earth. Big fucking whoop. You know, she took, you know, creative license with the tarot. How dare she? That's something that I like about this deck. This deck is so ballsy. No pun intended. She did a lot of things before it was really demanded, and changing suit correspondences, the elemental correspondences of the suits, that is hella ballsy, and I have hella respect for her. And her artwork is so well done. It is so well done. It is so queer inclusive and racially inclusive. There's nothing exclusive about this deck except maybe the price, because it's out of print and has been out of print since 1999. I got this for $75 on Amazon. It was about $86 after shipping and all of that, right? But like, I would love to see an edition of this that is borderless, taller, bigger. I mean, US Games, please, please. I mean, this artwork deserves a revival, and I think Lori Walls really put this out at a time when the world wasn't ready for it. And I think the world would embrace this deck now, even with the problematic cards that are in it. And I wouldn't want them to change. I wouldn't want any changes to be made. Just reprint it exactly as is, but better resolution, bigger, more room laid out for the actual artwork on the card itself. And like, fucking get it going. Come on. Like, what's the holdup here? You know, yeah, there are tons of new deck creators out there making new stuff all the time, and it's wonderful and it's beautiful. But like, how could you just let a deck like this fall to the wayside and collect dust when it is one of probably the most inspirational, I think, decks that I have ever come across? And it's so inclusive in every possible way. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. So I hope that you enjoyed this 10-minute ramble about who I'd want to meet and why. I just want to gush with her. I want to gush with her. I want to buy some prints of her artwork and let her know that, hey, there might be haters out there who don't understand your work, but baby, I love this deck. Like, make more. Like, make more. Anyway, until next time, until tomorrow for day 26, happy dabbling and bye-bye.